In order, let the record show that Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Owens are absent today. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have the sheets for citizens' comments there, but nobody signed up. I am also going to move item 15, because I know Mr. Bagley has a trial court this morning. Item 15, let's take that one first. Item 15, discuss and possible action requesting the Commissioner's Court assign the District Attorney's Office a Valverde County credit card as well as a Pico for fuel.
Move.
So move.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Aye. He also wants to know about the Juanita Barrera's HR Director, so let's do item 16. And I think all of them are in order, except there was one F. There was actually a misprint. It should have been, instead of $147.76, you should read $54,147.76. Am I correct on that one, Mr. Bagley?
I believe so, Leon, but I believe that's what it reads.
Okay, well, not in mine. It reads, in mine reads 45.
Mine reads
I sent
54.
you, because I sent you, Lisa, the corrected one.
Oh, okay.
So it's 54.
It should read
44.
45.
It's 45, 147, 76
That's correct.
is what it should read.
Okay,
Now, the other deal that the auditor's office pointed out is item I. They were telling me that we need to add supplemented by the DA's office.
No, that would be item J, ma'am.
J, I'm sorry, I apologize, J. It's supplemented by the DA's office.
Correct.
How much?
Full amount.
It's the full amount, the 30,000.
okay. Those are the corrections. Anything else that needs to be corrected, Juanita?
No, sir.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
motion, we need a second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, please vote.
Mr. Bagley.
Your Honor, I would bring to your attention also item number 7.
Seven. Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem, sir.
All right, item 7, discuss possible action regarding Valverde County Texas entry into a monthly lease agreement with Pitney Bowes to provide postal service for the District Attorney's Office.
I gave you a copy of a 60-month agreement, and then I was able to acquire a 36-month agreement. The 60-month agreement is for $23.70 a month, and a 36-month agreement is for $36.58 a month.
How many of these do we have countywide?
About 6, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Wouldn't it be cheaper long-term to look at a mail room and just have one for the entire county at some point?
Possibly, I haven't looked at it that way.
So,
Only because you're talking about another salary.
okay, because you would have to have somebody that works on it. All right,
So move. Which one?
36 or the 60? 60? There's a motion.
Second.
Second, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody?
Which one was it?
The 60.
60? Okay. All right.
Thank you. Is that it, Mr. Bagley?
That's all I have, that's my excuse.
Yes, go ahead. All right, item 5, discuss possible action to purchase a vehicle for emergency management department. And in this case, the one that, the emergency management department has, we need a truck for the building maintenance, so we're gonna transfer that one to building maintenance. And I'm trying to find a used one for the emergency management department. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so you're gonna transfer the property
Yeah, but after I
from
find
emergency
it.
space into parks, you receive credit from parks
Right.
for the price of that vehicle.
Mhm.
Okay, to purchase a used vehicle.
When I do find a used.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Second. Any discussion?
So it's not coming out of any budget then?
No. No. What it is that Commissioner, Owens took the one that he had bought with precinct 2, he took it back over, so we need one for it. All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody? Thank you. All right, item 6, discuss possible action regarding the entering the lease agreement for rental of additional warehouse space.
We're looking into the building that's on 508 Griner Street. It's about 3,000 square foot warehouse, $1,100 a month rent, an initial it'd be a lease for 6 months, and after that, it would be a month-to-month rent with a 1 month, deposit. I went through the contract and looked at a few things, and there's some corrections and some omissions that I'm gonna ask them to do, and make some of those corrections.
And this is only temporary until we can get something set up
That's
for it.
So this is to remove
Yeah, the stuff out of
the
the
stuff at
4H.
4H building.
Motion to approve.
A motion?
Second.
Huh?
Moved by
What do we have? What do we have in building lease? We use all of it?
I don't know how that happened.
Okay. Make a motion to approve at a contingency
And the judge decide?
and a judge to sign.
Need a second?
And then you are gonna meet with the other 2 commissioners about how we can come up with a plan to get moved into the old warehouse.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 3-0. Next, item 8, discuss possible action regarding the county judge's office copier service contract.
The option here is to purchase the copier at $907 and continue with a maintenance plan of $24.85 a month. Or we can get a new machine for 36 months and a maintenance plan for $189.75.
36?
36 months, yes. Currently, it was on a 60-month lease at $156.20.
Which do you recommend?
I believe that machine is in pretty good working
Condition.
order, so I would just outright purchase it and go with a maintenance program.
Motion to, second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody,
Mr.
3-0.
Nuskis, is it better to lease or to purchase the copiers?
I would say at the beginning, it'd be better to lease them. Although, if you run the numbers, they come out to be almost like buying a vehicle sometimes.
Well, $100 and something a month, that's $6,000 over 36 months.
Well, then, I haven't seen one for $100 a month.
Yeah.
We're closer to,
No, I meant the $180 something dollars.
Oh,
If you leased
that's
it, it's like $6,000 over 3 years.
shorter lease times would be our best, and then at that time, and they're all in fairly good condition, even after the 5-year period. And I know the one in our department, they had it on a 60-month lease, and then we decided to purchase it, and we've had it for 3 more years, and it's still working just fine, so we're just paying a little maintenance on it. So,
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. All right, next we have item 9, discuss possible action authorizing the Valverde County Judge to accept interlocal agreement between Valverde County, Texas and Kinney County, Texas. This agreement is to provide housing and care for certain inmates incarcerated and or to be incarcerated in Valverde County Correctional Facility, sorry.
Yes, this is an agreement between Kinney County and Valverde County. Council has reviewed the agreement. This agreement was put together sometime back for different counties as just an annual renewal. Sheriff Cole had an inmate that he wanted to transfer over because he couldn't keep him there at his facility, so our agreement was out, so we didn't allow it. So It's just a renewal. He's already presented it to his commissioner's court, and they approved of the agreement on October 3rd of this year. So it just up to us to agree to housing some of their inmates when they have an emergency or crisis in their county.
Motion to approve.
Motion, second.
Are we gonna, just my understanding is the feds are looking for more places for holding. Is there any chance of us getting some of that?
Right now, I think our county population is right at about 1,100 daily. It's been, the numbers are low, so we can probably fit another 250 inmates in our facility here.
It's my understanding ICE is looking for contracts for more holding facilities on illegals, and they're talking about building more jails in Dare County.
From what I heard, that they were trying to do something along the I-35 corridor. So for that to affect us, I don't think that it would. I know that our partner in this has some facilities available.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 3-0. All right. Next, discuss possible action, requesting approval of purchase a truck vault out of auto for crime scene unit and for the amount of $3,630.
Move.
Move. Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 3-0. Item 11, discuss about and possible action authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to administer any and all grants pertaining to the Beverly Sheriff's Office.
What is that situation, President?
A year ago, we got 2 of our grants back, where we were the administrator of the grants. That was our largest grant, which was Stone Garden and the LBSP. Our Stone Garden grant is, was $1 million awarded, so we've been able to manage that. There's some smaller grants that we have. We have the Bulletproof Vest Grant, the Rifle Vest Grant, National Park Service, and the HIDA Grant, and we have somebody on staff that can handle all those grants within our office. Commissioner Nettleton wanted transparency, so provided some kind of a spreadsheet that shows what our grants are that we currently have. So I'm asking the court to allow us to take over those 4 other grants that we have. We'll be applying for some other smaller grants that will involve officer safety, and we want the ability to be able to administer those grants.
And you do have somebody in staff that works.
That individual was hired 6 years ago specifically for that.
For grants.
What's gonna be the procedure of oversight and the court's ability to know what's going on with these grants?
Everything will be brought, as usual, to the Grant Review Board. It will be brought to the Commissioner's Court. Once it's been presented to the Grant Review Committee, once the award once the award is made, it'll be brought back up, and there'll be a monthly spreadsheet provided to the court.
Listing details of what's been used and
Yes,
everything?
sir. And anything else you want to change on this, or add to it, Commissioner, we'd be more than glad to do it
And so this is gonna be a report you give to us
on a monthly basis.
on a monthly basis?
Yes, sir.
And then, we'll have, I guess, the ability to ask questions as we have those meetings.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Who's handling these other grants, President?
Ms. Esser is handling them.
Yes, sir. But before that, it was the same person that was hired, right?
Yes.
I don't think we had a problem with the grants from the sheriff's office. It was the other grants that were coming in. That's why we hired Mr. Esser and Ms. Esser.
I think we can try this for a while and see how it works, but I want to know what's going on with these grants and some oversight.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Nobody? 3-0. Next, item 12, discuss possible action requesting approval of purchase of 1 fully equipped computer out of the travel and training for $1,015.73.
We need, I think these need to be, has RAM looked at these to make sure they comply with what we're doing? And this needs to be moved into a capital line item so that we can track what we're doing in the expense. So I would say more of a budget amendment to move out of travel and training this amount into a capital outlay. And then I think all of that stuff needs to be approved by RAM to make sure before we buy computers that they're meeting all of the stuff that we have to have.
And I think that's the direction of the court now, is as long as RAM thinks it's compatible to what we have, we don't have a problem, it should.
So we need to do a budget amendment here now?
Yes, but,
It's
can't
good.
do a budget amendment.
It's gonna be, Commissioner's gonna be taken out of that same line item, but I was under the impression from the direction given at the last Commissioners Court meeting that anything that had a life expectancy over 1 year or, over $500 had to come before the court.
No, I understand that, but in order to know what we're really spending in travel and training, what we're spending in capital, I would like to see us, if we're gonna do capital purchases like this, we transfer the money out of that line item into a capital line item and then purchase it so that at the end of the year, we can look at what we've actually spent for travel and training and what we actually spent for capital. What you're doing is right. I'm just saying, if we can,
But we don't have capital outlay in our department.
we'll have to create
You can't create a line item.
what do you mean we can't?
After you adopt the budget, you can move from one line item to another, but you can't create a line item.
We can amend the budget,
Capital expenditure is just funded at zero. I mean, the capital.
then we can move it into the capital and specify as the capital line item that we have.
The 1,400.
Yeah.
Can we all use that capital expenditure?
Yeah, it more sounds like anything that is taken out of the departmental budget, move to capital, we'll just move it all into that one large capital account and identify it, whose department it was.
But who's going to get the capital expenditure money?
Well, they're moving it out of their own budget
I
into
know.
that.
But who's got set aside for the capital expenditure limit?
There is no capital expenditure money in this budget.
There's nothing?
Right, it was budgeted zero, but it's coming from the department's budget as they're moving it out of their other line items into a capital account.
So we can approve this, but we need to come back and do a budget amendment to move the money.
Because
Well, I'm assuming we need to do a budget amendment.
we would have to do a budget amendment.
So what would be the process?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's
That's what we need to know.
We have 3 other items that fall.
Yeah, you're doing it right
No, you're doing it
process.
right. It just, what I'm saying is my personal opinion is we need to take the money and move it into capital so we can track what it's really doing in capital and what's really doing in travel and training instead of the other way. That way we know at the end of the year when we do next year's budget, what do we really spend in travel and training and what did you really need in capital? So that money can be set aside. What you're doing here is right. I don't think we have a line item to do a budget transfer, do we?
So do
Or
we
budget amendment.
anticipated to spend our funds for capital outlay? I mean, I don't the whole capital outlay thing, because we weren't given money, they didn't set aside money for us to get capital outlay. So in order for us to get something that qualifies as capital outlay, we have to use money from other line items?
Correct.
And that's true for everybody?
That's true for all departments, because no one was given capital outlay expenditures. Doesn't make sense. If you have a capital outlay request, you can bring it to the court, and if the court approves that capital outlay item, then we would just adjust your budget to move those funds.
Well, why didn't we just get the money in the first place?
If there wasn't any,
And we wouldn't have known which accounts to hit for what amounts.
Yeah, I know, but you could have done it in the capital expenditure to set out the different departments
And fund them with what?
for the capital outlay that you guys set up for us. I mean, I had no idea that we were going to use departmental funds like travel and training, office supplies for capital outlay.
you don't have to. We budgeted zero for capital for anybody. He wants to, out of his department, take some money out of travel and training to go buy some capital stuff.
So, yeah, but if I wanted to buy capital stuff and I didn't want to use the travel and training, where would I get the
You
money?
wouldn't,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
there is no money.
So,
Without operating.
I don't think that that's a really good, open, transparency kind of budget. If we're going to be amending the budget throughout the year, then what was the point?
Then how are we to get a better handle on what it takes to operate versus what capital is actually needed?
What do you mean?
Well, how do we get a good handle on what it takes to operate pens, pencils, papers, paper clips versus computers? How do we
That's called anticipated expenditures versus anticipated revenues. You plan the budget.
Okay. So
It just
if
seems
so-
to me that y'all have cut our budget and then cut it some more, and so we have less money for office supplies, less money for travel and training, and on top of that, we're gonna have to use that money for capital outlay.
Correct. And if we went to the budgets that were provided to us during budget time, there was there was very little capital on those.
Well, we were told not to include capital outlay for 2 years now.
Okay, so then how am I supposed to set up a capital outlay if no one puts it on their budget sheet? How am I
It's not
supposed to
about
set
that,
it
it's
up?
about there wasn't any money to fund it.
See, there's no money to fund it, but now you can mess things around, so obviously, I don't know. I mean, I think that the big problem is that the elected officials weren't consulted department by department so that we could make a decision on how we were gonna spend our money. And we were flat out told no capital outlay. To me, no capital outlay says we can't buy capital outlay, but it turns out we can if we can figure out where we're gonna squeeze the money out of, which we're already low by 15%. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on how people spend their capital outlay, and I hope we're all being treated the same.
That's good. Motion to approve and to set up a budget transfer at the next meeting.
Okay. There's a motion, I need a second. Second?
Departments to bring that up.
Okay, all those in favor, they can say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed? Mr. Forrester, for or against?
For what was that again? I'm sorry.
Item 12.
Now, what about item 18?
Let's get to 12 first.
What was the vote?
It was, so far it's 3. 4 or against? 4. Okay, 4-0.
Judge Janey needs some clarification.
Can I, who made the motion, please?
I made the motion.
And
Okay,
Commissioner Wardlaw seconded,
okay,
and it was 4-0.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Item 13, discuss possible action requesting purchase of one fully equipped computer out of the operating supplies for the amount of $1,814.80.
That's what we.
Move.
Is this yours?
And this gone through around?
Yeah. There it
Okay.
is.
And we're gonna do a budget amendment and transfer to capital?
Okay, there's a motion, a second, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, 4-0. Okay, item 14, discuss possible action requesting approval of purchase radio out of the communication for newly purchased county vehicle for the amount of $4,772.
Some expensive radios.
Need a motion for that?
Motion to approve.
Second. Second. Okay, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody. 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now let's go to item 17. Discuss possible action on approving payroll for to be paid October 20th, 2017.
Move.
We'll move. Second. Second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, 4-0. Item 18, discuss possible action on the capital expenditures.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground on this already, on the new policy. Where any computer-related item probably should run through your ID department,
Right,
okay, no matter what the dollar amount.
right.
Yes.
Because it has to be compatible to
To
what
make
we've
sure it's
got.
compatible with it, okay.
Any electronic computer-related item, including anything that has to do with that. TVs that are compatible with electronics and all that.
Okay. Now, the language that the sheriff used on his items, that language is extremely close to a budget adjustment. Does he need to come back with official budget adjustment?
I mean, the question is does this cover budget? Is is it a budget amendment or a budget adjustment?
What's the difference?
Well, a budget amendment would be touching, your total revenues and total expenditures. This would just primarily be. a
This is
budget
an
adjustment.
adjustment
This would be inside the budget.
of the existing budget. You're not amending anything to change the numbers.
Correct.
You're just moving money from one line item to another.
That's an amendment.
The amendment, there's.
Well, we
budget
don't need to
adjustment.
talk about it now, because
Okay.
it's really none of my business right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Will that language cover it, or would you like him to come back?
I think that language would cover it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you need a vote on this?
No.
Okay. All right,
And then,
okay.
all right. That'll work for now.
Okay. Okay, next, item 19, the approval of the bills for payment. I think everybody got a copy of those.
The only out-of-cycle we got is a CRS for approximately $9,700.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Out of contingency.
Second, Commissioner Perez, any discussion? All right, if not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? 4-0. Thank you. My next, county judge's comments. Don't forget that now the meetings are every other Wednesday, and the line items have to be in the Friday before that Wednesday's meeting. Okay?
Invoices.
Yeah, invoices and everything has to be turned in by Friday of the Friday before the Wednesday meeting. The next meeting will not be next Wednesday, but following Wednesday, every other Wednesday.
Matt, do the elected officials know that, the other elected officials?
I believe that they do, because we covered that in the first one to 2 meetings a month, and we covered when the invoice.
No, did you send a memo to the electeds, because they don't come to the meetings?
Okay, we can send out a mass email.
Okay.
Payments.
All right? Okay, nothing else? Then this meeting's adjourned. Okay.